What would you do if you lost absolutely everything to save the lives of strangers? This is Maria Santos, 34 years old, single mother of 3 children, nurse for 12 years, and exactly 47 days ago, she made a decision that left her homeless with nothing, but changed the lives of 8 people forever. What happened next will make you cry, will make you believe in human goodness again, and will prove that real angels ride Harley-Davidsons. If you still believe that miracles exist, don't stop watching this video, because what you're about to see in the next 25 minutes will restore your faith in humanity. And if this story touches your heart like it touched mine, hit that like button right now. Let's begin. Santa Clara Hospital, outskirts of Sao Paulo. 11:47 p.m. on a cold Tuesday in July. Maria was finishing her second shift of the day. Yes, you heard that right. Second shift. Because when you're a single mother and need to pay rent, children's school fees, food, medicine, you work 16 hours a day and still thank God for having a job. Maria wasn't rich, wasn't famous, had no connections. She was just an ordinary woman, doing an extraordinary job every day without recognition, without applause, without medals. How many Mariahs do you know? How many people around you work in silence, sacrifice in silence, love in silence, without ever receiving anything in return? That night, Maria was caring for 12 patients on the night shift, most of them elderly, some abandoned by their families, others unable to afford a private hospital. For Maria, each of them had a name. John, 78 years old, former steelworker. Mrs. Carmen, 82, former teacher. Mr. Antonio, 85, war veteran forgotten by the system. But at 11:52 p.m., everything changed. What happened in the next 8 minutes shouldn't have happened to anyone, but it did. And Maria had 8 seconds to make the most important decision of her life. The scream echoed through the corridors of Santa Clara Hospital like a nightmare becoming reality. Black, dense, toxic smoke began invading every floor. Have you ever smelled smoke inside a building? That moment when your brain screams, "Run! Get out now! Save your life!" Nurses running, doctors evacuating, security guard shouting, everyone going down the stairs, seeking the exit, seeking fresh air, seeking safety. Everyone except Maria. While the building transformed into hell, while people fought to get out, Maria Santos looked at the 12 patients under her care and made a decision that would define who she really was. First trip, Maria picked up Mrs. Carmen, 82 years old, 45 kilograms of pure fragility. Went down 3 floors running, lungs burning, eyes tearing, heart exploding in her chest. Second trip, Mr. Antonio and John. 1 in each arm. War, veteran, and retired steelworker. 2 men who built this country being carried by a 5 feet 5 inches nurse. Did you know that in extreme situations, the human body can multiply its strength by 10? Maria weighed 128 pounds. That night, she carried more than 880 pounds of people down the stairs. One by one, life by life, Maria returned to that hell. Smoke getting denser. Heat getting more intense. Building structure beginning to give way. When firefighters arrived, they found Maria unconscious in the 3rd floor corridor. Next to her, the last patient she was trying to save, Mrs. Rosa, 91 years old. 8 lives saved. 8. In 23 minutes of pure heroism. But while Maria was being taken to the ICU, her life was being destroyed in a way she didn't know yet. The building adjacent to the hospital, where Maria had lived for 8 years with her 3 children, had been completely consumed by flames. Everything, absolutely everything that a family builds over a decade. Children's photos, clothes, documents, furniture bought with sweat, toys, memories, dreams, children's birth certificates, burned, nursing diploma, burned, savings kept in the mattress, burned. Work clothes, burned. Children's medicine, burned. Maria woke up from the ICU 3 days later. The first thing she asked wasn't about herself. It was about the patients. Is everyone okay? Did I save everyone? Imagine The woman lost everything, was hospitalized with burns, respiratory problems, and her first concern was about others. When the nurse said yes, that everyone was saved, Maria smiled. Then she asked about her children. The nurse hesitated. They're fine. They're with your mother. It was only when Maria tried to give her home address for discharge that she discovered she no longer had a home. She had nothing left. Can you imagine? You save 8 lives and lose your entire life in the process. You become a national hero for 48 hours and then become another invisible homeless person. The media loved the story of the hero nurse. TV interviews, newspaper articles, viral posts. Everyone calling Maria a guardian angel. But when the cameras stopped filming, when journalists left, when the next story took over the headlines, Maria was still on the street. The hospital offered compensation of $600. $600 for a lifetime lost, for a destroyed house, for a shattered family. And it was at that moment, at rock bottom, sleeping on her friend's couch, that Maria didn't know someone was watching. Someone who would change everything. Mr. Antonio, 85 years old, World War II veteran. One of the 8 lives Maria saved that terrible night. What Maria didn't know is that Mr. Antonio had a grandson, and that grandson had a very specific nickname on the streets of Sao Paulo, Storm. Storm was the president of the Sao Paulo chapter of Hell's Angels. 47 years on the road, 25 years of brotherhood, leader of 120 bikers who considered honor, loyalty, and family more important than life itself. When Storm went to visit his grandfather in the hospital, Mr. Antonio told him everything. With tears in his eyes, trembling with emotion, the war veteran said, "Grandson, I was going to die in that fire. The smoke was suffocating me, I couldn't move, and suddenly an angel appeared. An angel in a white uniform who picked me up like I was a child and brought me back to life. For a Hell's Angel, there are 3 sacred things: family, honor, and life debt. Someone had saved his grandfather. Someone had given everything so his grandfather could continue living. Storm didn't tell anyone. He began investigating. He discovered the address where Maria was temporarily living. He discovered she was working as a janitor in 3 different places. The woman who saved his grandfather was cleaning bathrooms at 5 a.m. to be able to buy milk for her children. Imagine the anger Storm felt. The most honorable woman he knew was being humiliated by the system, was going through hardship, was invisible. That same night, Storm called an extraordinary meeting. 80 bikers gathered at the clubhouse. Lights off. Solemn atmosphere. "Brothers," said Storm, "a woman saved my grandfather and lost everything. A woman who represents everything we respect: courage, sacrifice, love for family. And this woman is abandoned." For 30 seconds, no biker said a word, because they all immediately understood what that meant. What happened next is the reason you're going to share this video with everyone you know. Operation White Angel. That's what the most ambitious mission the Hell's Angels SP had ever organized was called. In 72 hours, 80 bikers transformed into a war machine against social injustice. Alpha Squad, responsible for finding the perfect land. Beta Squad, contact construction material suppliers. Charlie Squad, recruit specialized workforce. You have no idea of the mobilization power of a group of bikers united for a cause. In 48 hours, they had a 4,300 square foot lot bought in cash, 15 masons working for free, 8 volunteer electricians, 5 plumbers donating work, 12 painters offering services, 200 people involved in the project. Because when you touch the hearts of the right people, when you show there's injustice in the world, when you offer the chance to make a difference, everyone wants to participate. Storm coordinated everything via WhatsApp. Separate groups for each function. Synchronized schedules. Absolute security so Maria wouldn't discover anything. $36,000 was the total amount raised. In 72 hours. Bikers donating entire salaries. Businessmen contributing materials. Neighbors offering what they had. Is there anything more beautiful than seeing dozens of people who don't know each other uniting to help a stranger? A stranger they only knew through her heroism story? 15 days of uninterrupted work. From 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Weekends included. Rain or shine. A 3-bedroom house being built brick by brick. Each room decorated thinking of Maria's children. Closet full of new clothes. Refrigerator bought and stocked. Electric bill paid 1 year in advance. But Maria still didn't know anything. And when she found out, well, prepare the tissues. August 18th, Friday, 4:30 p.m. Maria received a strange call. Ms. Maria? This is Construtech Company. Could you come to the address I'm going to give you for a job interview? It's for social works coordinator. Salary, $1,600. After working as a janitor for 2 months, the proposal seemed like a miracle. Maria borrowed decent clothes and went to the address. Acacia Street, 245. When Maria turned the corner and saw the scene, her legs weakened. 80 Harley-Davidsons parked in perfect formation. Leather-jacketed bikers standing, helmets in hand, in absolute silence. In the center of the formation, a new house. Painted white. Manicured garden. Iron gate with a giant red bow. Maria couldn't understand what she was seeing. Heart beating 200 beats per minute. Hands trembling. Breathing accelerated. A 6 feet 3 inches man, graying beard, tattoos on his arms, approached. Ms. Maria Santos? Yes. She whispered. You saved my grandfather in that fire. I just did my job. No, you did much more than that. You lost everything to save strangers. And now, these strangers came to return the favor. Storm placed the keys in Maria's hand. This house is yours. Paid off. Documented. For you and your children. Maria broke down. Couldn't stop crying. Sobs that came from the depths of her soul. 80 bikers watching in respectful silence. Door opening. Golden light filling the environment. New furniture. Equipped kitchen. Decorated rooms. A plaque on the living room wall. For the nurse who never abandoned anyone. From all of us who will never abandon her. AFFA, Angels Forever, Forever Angels. Suddenly, 3 children ran screaming, Mommy, our new house. They knew. The Hells Angels had picked up the children from Grandma's house for the surprise. 80 bikers formed a corridor of honor. Maria walked in the middle with her 3 children toward her new life. Storm started all 80 Harleys at the same time. The roar echoed throughout the city like a victory cry of justice over indifference. This story happened. It's real. Maria Santos today works as coordinator of a social project funded by Hells Angels. Her children study in private school. The house became a symbol of hope in the neighborhood. If this story touched your heart, if you believe good people deserve good things, if you want to be part of a community that believes in justice, like this video now, because every like is a vote for human goodness. Share with everyone, because stories like this need to be told. Subscribe to the channel, because every week I bring stories that will restore your faith in humanity. Turn on notifications, because you deserve to be the first to know when goodness defeats evil. Comment below which moment moved you the most. I read all the comments. Remember, in a world full of indifference, be like the Hells Angels. Be like Maria Santos. Be the difference you want to see in the world. Because true angels don't have wings. They have courage.